Hello everyone. So today we are discussing about a revolutionary entry point into the world of industrial automation, which is this Dobot MG400. This MG400 is a lightweight desktop industrial grade robotic arm, which is a footprint smaller than A4 size, which means it can be placed on a desktop as you can see in this video. So our goal today in this video, I would like to show you on how this small machine can provide a risk-free gateway to automate your production line. While this is a basic desktop 4-axis robot, it stands out from the traditional machinery. It's classified as a collaborative robot, and then rather than a standard SCARA robot. So of course, you might wonder, why a 4-axis robot isn't just called a SCARA robot? So unlike those traditional SCARA robot, which is fast, rigid, and blind, this MG400 inherits this collision detection. The robot arm will stop when he detects a gently collision, meaning that it can operate safely alongside with your staff. And then so obviously this MG400 isn't designed to replace your workforce, but to collaborating them with more on manual labor, repetitive tasks, allow your technician to free up resources and focusing on more higher value proposition operation. The most compelling reason to consider MG400 is about math, where we talk about this ROI, return on investment. So at the market price of this MG400 around 15,000 ringgit Malaysia, so it just costs as much about, I would say, a professional laptop. This cheap entry price point allow us to get a very fast, rapid ROI about to 3 to 6 months. That we have a manufacturing line where the operator just does this manual repetitive job for like occasion about 3 hours. When we multiply about like 21 days of working days, there still be approximately about 60 hours working hour a month. This robot can operate about 3 shifts. So with the workforce of these 60 hours, we can simply times 3 equals to 3 times of the output of the workforce that carry out about 180 hours per month. So which in this dimension that we can consider that the ROI might be even faster. Calculate compared to the salary of an operator per month in a shift. So in this MG400, we focus on how can we achieve the lower hanging fruit of this manufacturing. Most basic primary application is include this basic pick and place application, such as loading machine, arranging part into conveyors, and then additionally, this robot is equipped with a lot of controller. It's already built in one body that can be integrated with a lot of vision inspection, can have a camera mounted directly or indirectly and the static point to achieve vision aided pick and place application. MG400 is built about this longevity about 20,000 hours of MTBF, which is mean time before failure. It's around when we run the robot 24/7, then we expect around 2 to 3 years that we expect some maintenance job required for that. However, to reach this lifespan, right, so when we talk about this, the maximum payload for this MG400 is around 500 grams. To share about some core spec of what this MG400 features is 440 working radius with the repeatability of 50 micrometers where we do our repetitive pick and place job. With this highly flexible, right, you can just look on the J4 joint. We can have a capable of this 300-degree rotation. And also, which is meant that this MG400 also remarkably compact. It weighs about 8 kg of a footprint smaller than A4 paper, which means that it provides flexibility for the production floor as well as the factory owners where you have this constant change of floor layout. So it will be just one man that easily can handle for a lot of these layout changes where easy to set out, easy to deployment, and show that simplicity means productivity, which means that all of the robot controller, I/O, the controller board is all in one compact size in this MG400. Now, I would like to share with you guys about some 3 key features that I would like to share on this Dobot MG400, which is the safetiness as a Cobot, how easy to operate, and also how easy to deploy. First, we look at the easy of deployment. So as you can see, this is the all-in-one compact setup of this Dobot MG400, which we have all of the controllers, I/Os, all of the Ethernet ports, all in one body. So to start up this Dobot MG400, all you need is just one power supply and also another emergency stop button. And that's it. Secondly, when we look at our screen, this is Dobot software have been used to control this MG400. Once we connect with our robot, yes, and then with control, so you can see when we enable our robot with these coordinates where we can control XYZ coordinate as well as our joint coordinates. So first on Cartesian coordinates, when we Yes. Press on XYZ. So this will be how can we control in our software. And secondly, what is the advantage of this Cobot is with handheld programming teaching. Let's say, in order to program a pick and place program, so when we this in jog mode, we can freely jog our robot arm. Let's say this will be our pick point 1. Okay, and then following on, we'll go to points, and then we'll add a point. This will be our point 1. Let's say I name it as start, and then for another point, let's say for this one, another point. And then this is what we call the block key programming. So as you can see, with basic programming language sequence, which if else, repeat, forever, and then some operators, string for custom variable. And this is where we're going to use the most for this demo, which is a movement block on how you want the robot to tell the robot for movement. So first, let's say we can set up our move join initial pose. From here, we can select our start P1 and P2. So then we save, and then we go here, run to, and then when we put a forever loop, and then when we start run, yeah, when we increase the speed, okay, to make it more presentable, we can scroll down and then relative mode, yeah, and then this one, and then this one. Okay, where we can straight away duplicate. Start. Oh, sorry, P2. My bad. So when we start, yeah. So as you can see, within around, I would say 5 minutes, this is where we can showcase a very, very simple pick and place where you have a pick point as a place point for some easy and manual repetitive movement. Okay, so just now when we talk about this collaborative robot, so it's meant to work alongside with human as in a collaborative space. So as you can see, when we have a gentle collision detected, the robot will stop immediately with an alarm, as you can see. So as for easy to operate, after 1 to 2 seconds, if there's nothing in the setting, so we will continue the operation. So of course, in our settings, where we can have some setting where after we detect collision, do we resume, do we pause, do we stop? So this is where we can refer back to your own factory's safety consideration or safety standard operation procedure, SOP. Okay, so currently we will have our vacuum suction and end effector. So obviously in production, when we're running production, so obviously we will have to select our respective end effector, which is, as this case, we have vacuum suction cup. Also, we have those mechanical end effector gripper, as well as these are the more common or pneumatic air gripper that we might use. But we, of course, have to be taken care of the payload, where the maximum payload for this MG400 will be 500 grams. And we have to factor in the weight of this vacuum suction cup. So as our current setup here, we have added in with the vacuum suction cup with my Dobot optional accessory, along with this vacuum generator for this vacuum suction cup. So we like to demonstrate on how this apply in real world application where a pick and place application can be deployed here. So when we start the program, So we can do some experiment where suddenly hits. So this is where with gentle collision robots will stop. Yes. And then lastly, when you invest MG400 through APulsar like us, you are not just buying a hardware where you are gaining a partner. Each unit comes with about 15 months of warranty where we will of course handle this initial setup and programming. So often we have a lot of partners or system integrator that manage a wider factory ecosystem like conveyor, post installation, but especially for this robot side, we will provide troubleshooting and also any chargeable upgrades, and most importantly, knowledge transfer, where we can train your technicians, operators, even your engineers to master on how actually it's easy to deploy this Cobot inside your factory plant, and on how easy to set up, how easy to operate, as well as how easy to programming. So we definitely can train your in-house engineer so that they're able to reprogram the robot themselves eventually, so reducing your future maintenance costs to zero. So in summary, I would like to say that this Dobot MG400 is the most cost-effective first step. Your factory can take it as an experimental phase to get to know on how your factory can go when we take toward a fully automated future. So it is smart, it is safe, and it pays out in months, not years, with this such rapid ROI. So are you guys ready to free your technician for more higher value proposition work? And also thank you for your time, and we look forward to discuss more about this MG400 to fit your specific need in the production line in the future if possible. Thank you.